All right, I'm back with David Azizi from the law offices of David Azizi, and we have discussed many times in the last few weeks about slip and fall injuries, and most of the time we just discussed the ramifications as far as the trial and things like that. Well, today we're going to discuss a little bit of the injuries. And in some previous videos we discussed that sometimes you fall backwards and sometimes you fall forwards. Well, anyone who has been in a supermarket or a grocery store that has slipped or anywhere on concrete and you're not bracing yourself when you're falling back, you could have all kinds of head trauma when that type of situation happens. So David, please explain, cases you've been part of or what you have seen when someone just falls back without any type of bracing their fall.
Those are what I consider some of the most unfortunate accidents, because in some of the other accidents where you fall, you get bruised up, you get a broken bone, you can go ahead and actually put your body part that's been broken as a result of an accident, which is not to downplay it, it's still severe, but you put it in a cast. If any particular surgeries need to be done, hopefully you get back to how it was. Some of the cases that you're referring to where somebody falls backward, or I've seen it sometimes they fall forward, and also they're not able to brace themselves with their arms. But in some cases, as you referred, when you fall backwards, you can't, unless you brace your arms from backward. If you hit your head against a hard surface, I mean, you don't have to be a doctor, you don't have to be an expert. Just common sense would say, okay, that is not going to be good. That is going to cause severe brain injury. And a lot of times, depending on the severity, if God forbid you have a skull fracture, a subdural hematoma, which is bleeding in the head, or some kind of an injury to the brain, you can have severe injuries to where I've seen people just end up just in comas and unfortunately sometimes passing away. I've seen cases where people will recover, but they will have severe brain injury. There's a case ongoing right now where a Giants fan came here to LA and there was the Dodgers fight and they literally beat this guy into unconsciousness. Well, it's the same concept, when you're getting slipped and you're falling down and you're hitting that concrete, it's as though if somebody just knocked you down with a punch or force and you hit the ground with a hard force, it's the same thing. You sustain severe brain injury. In some cases I've had where sometimes people will be able to brace themselves, but their hands will slip and they'll still hit the ground. And in those cases, what you suffer from is mild traumatic brain injury, and we've covered this in other videos, where the mild traumatic brain injuries are the toughest to prove, in the sense that you look normal, you sound normal, everything about you is normal, but there's testings that can be done by a neuropsychologist, neuropsychiatrist, and you can be seen by a neurologist who can all attest to the fact and do certain testing to prove that you sustained a mild traumatic brain injury, and therefore you have some symptoms and signs which are less than severe and moderate. But yes, it does happen, unfortunately, and they're not what I call the unfortunate slip and falls that I wish I would never have to have them come into my office, but unfortunately I do see them around all the time.
So if you happen to have a situation where there is a slip and fall injury for you or a loved one, please feel free to contact the law offices of David Azizi. You will see the phone number above in the YouTube video, and you will also see it in the information below. Thank you for your time, David.
All right, thank you.